People don't know, but Jesse is the first person that changed my life. I talk about audio, I talk about people, but I went to the States. I inspired you at the beginning. I was your hero.
There you were. But let me tell you guys some stories.
And then we get to
some Abaga stories today.
Yeah, we get to the point where I came back and you were big in the music business in Jos. You were a headliner. I was an opener, and Jesse was the magic. You were the producer. You're the person that got us into studios. You know, and you trusted me early on. You know, and we did it together. And I've had recent cause to like reflect back on those days, and a lot of how I feel about it is that I felt like, you know, at the talks I was like I was really harsh. You know,
guys, let me tell you guys about.
Yeah, let me say this. I felt like I was really harsh, and I wanted to start out by apologizing.
No, you don't.
I felt like there's one story, which is Jesse left Chocolate City and blah 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 blah. And that's the story. But I've changed a lot.
Yeah.
And because I've changed, I look back at the time. I was like, yeah, I used to be so upset with people about this thing. I used to be so upset, and I wanted to apologize to you first and say for that. That I see the world differently now, and I'm sorry. You know, I feel like in some way, without knowing it, I pushed people away from me. I was so strong. I was so tough. I was by my principles. I was like, if you don't do it this way, you know what I mean? And I did it because I really wanted us to win. I really wanted us to leave where we were. You know, I thought it was the right way.
And I'll say this, eventually you were right. I feel like you raised, and I'll say this especially the first loopy artists, you raised us differently. We were just in Jos. Forget what all M.I is saying, we were big. There was no industry. Nothing was really going on. Yeah, it was you that came and separated. Like even the artist Ice is and the artist I am, it's from the records you came back with, and you sit with us for hours and be like, no, Jago, listen to Common. Yeah, stay away from Park and Big. Yeah, and you opened our minds. Lindsay listened to Colin Bailey. Ray, Ruby listened to this. And I don't regret it. And you won. You were right. And it made us tougher for in hindsight, even me, and you must understand we were young. Yeah, I'll say I've learned, if anything, to forgive myself first for my own, like you're doing, my own, the whole chocolate city thing. When you're young, you can't also reflect back and be like, I regret being that same age. You might have still made the same with the same conditions. And
what were you feeling? Like, what were you feeling at the time? Because
I think I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
And I hope a lot of artists listen to this. I think a lot of it is fueled by psychophancy too. Yeah, the psychophancy of being young and having young people around you and you being the alpha provider. There's that push. Yeah, you might not agree, but when people always agree with what you're saying, like, oh, I want to leave, and then all those people now who along the line to Jagz Nation went through his own evolution, and all those people eventually left. And then in hindsight, I realized maybe a little more patience, maybe a little more time to just reflect.
Yeah. There's also another thing I wanted to apologize to you for. You were the first person that said, I don't want to come back to Nigeria, I want to do it in America.
Yeah.
And I discouraged you.
Okay, I remember that.
I did. No, and now I see all these guys, and Jesse was like, I want to do this. I just thought it was too hard at the time.
No, I think, and in hindsight, I think I wanted to stay there to be able to understand how to survive now. I needed to be in America. It was my first time. You had gone there, you had school. I didn't want to be the artist that just goes there. You do your show for the Nigerians, and I wanted to sit and say, okay, how good am I really? And sit with the Black American. How dope am I? Are these Nigerians just gassing me up? Or I want to sit with you that raps and then hear what. So it was his own phase that I needed to go through, but I don't think America or like UK or places like that are by my personality is where I would have really wanted to stay. But I really wanted to stay there and see how far it could go and be sure that, okay, this is what it is. So, in hindsight, but it was very painful that time. It was painful, man. Being a musician.
I'm sorry, bro. I want to tell you.
I'm sorry.
No, listen. I want to apologize to you because you're better than all these guys. You are. And, you know, I think that's the thing for us. It's always like, we want Jesse to, you know, your fans. We all know it, you know, and I look back, I'm like, what if I didn't discourage him? What if I didn't, you know, I just didn't know better. I want to explain that when I went to the US in 2010, they tried to put me on a tour and I performed to like 5 people, 10 people. And I was like, we just need to go back home and build, you know? And so I came back, I was really focused, Chocolate City.
And you were right. You were right. You were right. You get me? M was right. You get me? He was right. But like I say, it's the factors, man. Like being in Lagos, we're young, everybody's hype, every new dream start coming up, and it happens. It happens, and I'm just happy that we didn't destroy the relate. Like, if you guys know, me and my brother, you guys know the things we fight about, even family stuff. Jago, you didn't do this, and we've been able to just maintain that. That love, without, you know what I mean, just getting ourselves destroyed in the process.
Maybe let me, my third question is, last time you and I had a fight here, I remember, we don't, we disagree, but we don't really fight.
No, we don't.
You're a chill person. You Jesse would like sit down and look at the situation and you make up his mind what he wants to do and you just go do it, right? But you said you don't listen to me. And I want to know, is there something that you wanted to say to me? Do you know what I'm saying?
No, I just think, and I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this on record. I am blessed and opportune to be Jago, but I hate it that my brother is M.I and you have been M.I since I was born. I'm used to you. It's other people that you're a winner. You're a go-getter. You're a scorpion. You nothing can. They tell you don't do this. Boom, you're going to get it done. And you have always been that person, man. Even just to play soccer when we were kids. M will be like, no, man, I must score 30 goals before I leave.
You know, football.
Just,
I was thinking
even
about
like
it.
what? Even like when we want to play what? You like you have your own stack of cards. You know what I mean? And at the same time, I just think is your like you've been able to just love me for me.
I want to do a better job. I do love you, but I want to do a better job. I just want to support. Like, I think there have been moments where I was good at doing that, where I was good at getting out of my own way and supporting you. And it's tough, you know, when you have a vision. Like my vision. You remember the time that me and Ice Prince had the thing? I cried. Do you remember? I cried like for 40 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And I remember the thing that Ice Prince said. Like, I understand it differently now. He was like, Emma, it's about you. It's always about you. And it made me cry because I was like, but it's not about me. The reason I'm pushing everybody is because of us. But I think what he was saying was that as a leader, it can't always be, you can't always say, this is how we're going to do it and everybody has to listen. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's a hard thing to see when you have a vision. Do you know what I'm saying? Like when you're like, this is where we're going to go. It's a hard thing. You know, I'm trying to learn and be better at it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm proud of the fact that, like, people that don't know Joss don't know how many superstars are wasting away. Exactly. No, like they're going to come out. Like superstars, basketball superstars that we'll see now that are older.
Just have nothing.
And we're like, this guy could have been in the NBA, or this guy could have been a big star, or this guy could have been, you know. And I'm proud of the fact that we put Joss on the map. Like we did it, you know what I mean? But I want to be able to look back and be like, oh, okay, I didn't get this right and I'm sorry. Especially to you, do you know what I'm saying? Especially to you because I think made it happen, bro.
But I think time makes everything better. Time brings wisdom. what used to hurt before. In hindsight, you actually look and be like, do you know what? I'm happy. Like you groomed us tough is the reason why, like we can be on our own and you can be sure, like, do you know what? Yeah, like you groomed us tough. I don't think any other artist, maybe the Mohits or EME had that sort of setup where you'd be like, do you know what? You guys were in this house where everybody's going to contribute to the rent. Yeah, I don't know how many, I can't count how many artists. While your song is number one on 94.7, yeah, I'll home with your babe. I remember many times M will come back and it was just that, yeah, M will be like, tell your babe to go home. I'm not joking, Baba, you go come out. Tell her to say.
No, what happened?
Because you say,
what happened was that somebody stole $1,000 from me. That's what happened. So I banned babes. I banned babes at the house. And it was a babe that stole. And you know who you are. She knows who she is. She knows who she is. She stole. You know what I mean? She stole $1,000 and she made me ban all the babes from the house. You know, and Ice Prince fought a war, which we can't talk around.
No, we can't.
He freed the babes. He freed the babes.
Ice Prince took a bullet
for everybody.
You know what I mean? But it was tough. It was rugged. Yeah, you know what I mean? You didn't, in a way, it didn't allow us to lose our heads, sort of. Yeah, it was grounding, it was tough, like I say, this is not a case of two twins, P square. This is M. M is a what?
So why are you looking at them? Forget about them. Talk to me.
It's not easy for Jago.
No. But that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted.
You know, like,
I remember walking down British America, and you were working at First Wave, and you were making money. I didn't know anything about production. Bola DBC had told us, hey, you can use our studio. And I remember the moment, Jesse, this is one of the moments I have clear in my head. And I was like, would you do this thing with me? And you were like, let's do it. And we started the studio because I was the business guy. I'm like, oh, we'll have a studio, but I couldn't produce.
No, come on.
No, I couldn't. At the time, I couldn't produce. I didn't know how to like do the Fruity Loops thing. So I had to learn it. But you moving to Bola DBC studio gave us the clout that we needed. Then producers started coming. And then they came to work with you and we'd take the money. I remember maybe you would make would have a beat used to be like 8,000 naira. 10K.
So let me now add the story. When we started the studio, but I remember when Bola DBC left, he left the whole studio, thankfully. He left his furniture first.
Yeah.
Everything was there. But it was just the equipment. And this is to your business acumen savvy sense. You were diligent. The first project you and I did, they paid us 1,006 for an album.
No, it was like 12K. 12K.
Like 12K.
No, it was 2K per beat.
It was 2K per beat. It was something 2K per beat. That you even gave them reduction and we shared the money. I remember that day. And then you were like, in the morning, you were like, do you know what, Jago? Bring 2K from your bar. She used to have. Let me take 2K. Let's start. And from that, we changed the whole studio, bought our own instruments and had secretaries, you know what I mean? I started learning at that very young, how to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Keep the studio running. So I don't, in hindsight, I feel like I went to like NDA. You know what I mean?
You didn't say Harvard. You didn't say Harvard. You say NDA. Yeah, man. How are you doing that now? Though?
I'm good. Good.
I love the fact that people ask me about you all the time, and I'm like, if you see Jago and see where he lives, you guys would not be worried about him at all.
I think I'm happy. I'm good. I'm more happy that I'm happy you and I are here. You know what I mean? Like the last time we had our rows, I'm very happy that I mean, like we're all we have now. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I'm happy that we can sit down. I'm happy. I just want to make music. I think it doesn't matter what we do from now. We're in the annals of history. Yeah. And it's just, for me, I've always been that, you know what, I'm quiet. For me, it's just the music. Like, I want to break the boundaries of what sounds can be and what we can experiment with and what we can. I don't, and people say, I don't worry about the numbers. My brother is M.I. He has already done that work for me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't. So I'm very happy. I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah. I would love. I don't know what you're working on, but there are a couple of things that, this next album, I mean, you guys that are watching and paying attention, like, you are the greatest. They don't know it. They forget. But I am M.I, and I've paid attention. I've seen everybody. I've watched everybody. And when I say Jesse's the greatest, you know what I'm saying? And so, I don't know what you're working on, but when it's ready, let me know.
I don't have a name.
Let's give it to them.
And that's why you're good. Like, I've learned over time to, like, my general delivery output is, I don't have that business. The music is dope, but I don't have a name yet. Yeah. But the music is, I think, highly spiritual.
You ready?
Highly, 70%. I just don't have you. I want you eyes.
Yeah.
You eyes on it. I think I'm not too many features. I'm not a very future person.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
straight from Jagz. This album is very personal for me, I think. Yeah, because it was made here. So.
I have so many questions to ask you, but I think this is a good. I want to talk to you some more.
Yeah, let's go. Anything. Nothing is.
I don't know if I should break. We should break and then do it. Like, I want to do another conversation when we have our sets and everything. I really came here to tell you on camera that I felt like I was, like, I was even so mad about. Then later in my life, I now came to the Salas on
No, but I'm grateful for that one. I'm grateful. You're like the coolest senior brother to have now. At the right age, you get me, like, I'm enjoying my life. You get what I mean? My brother and I am.
Do you know what
I
I
don't get
love
stressed.
now? You know what I love now? I love the fact that you fought the other day, because I felt like a lot of times the tension would stay under there. And there's
no outlet. And we just got it
we
over.
just fought. We just
I remember on phone, you told me, like, you know, Jago, we're not really going to fight, but I'm hurt. And then I went, no, you don't listen, but it's okay. And then we met backstage and you were like, you know what? And I appreciate those moments, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate those moments, man.
Yeah.
Man. And hard hitting home. Eve, man.
Oh, man.
Eve got me thinking back to those days again, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how many people these people don't know the story about? Yeah.
So we lost our sister Eve. Eve was in the trenches with us. This would be a good place. I think we should say a tribute to Eve and then we just end for now. You know what I'm saying? So maybe share a story about her? And then,
I think one of my most personal songs called My Brother, which is actually about my two brothers and myself. Eve does the chorus, and on the chorus she's talking about how the world has forsaken her and only God, she's just asking for God to hold her. So I listen to that every day. Keep her alive.
When I met Eve, she was already afflicted. Yeah. She had issues with her brain. She couldn't sleep, insomnia. And I remember, I say so respectfully that I would always say to people that because I sleep no matter what. So once I'm ready to sleep, I sleep. But I remember saying to her that if you sleep on the same bed with me, it's a funny story, that you sleep. And so she did. She slept and I slept. Nothing happened.
Yeah, no. I remember how the studio was now.
But that morning, my dad came and knocked on the door. I just saw you. And then opened the door and saw me and Eve. I was like, Jude, I'm disappointed in you, and left. I was like, the 2 times that someone has ever knocked on the door, in all the nonsense I've done, have been 2 times that I wasn't doing anything. And so we came and knocked on the door. But she was just afflicted. But she was happy.
Was happy.
She had so much joy. And she just kept fighting and kept fighting and kept fighting. And when we went to Lagos, we were 4 of us in a room. Do you remember? 4 of us in a room. And it was just not the place for the woman.
Yeah, it wasn't.
And so I was always like, we're going to go back and get them. And then I went back and got Ruby.
Ruby made.
And then Ruby she was struggling. She was dealing with depression.
It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy, man.
But then they never cascaded to Lindsay, Eve, Christine. And Lindsay did a great job. She's still fighting. She's still out there. Yeah. But rest in peace to our sister Eve. You know, I think this is a great place. So we're going to dedicate this episode of family, love, the thing that we built, the history that we created together, you know, and the future. Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. Cheers to that. And how you did now?
I did well.
How is it tough with these youngins? How you doing with these?
It's tough. Man.
2.5 decades.
They're in for it, man. I haven't come out this year, Jago. You say is your
the guy.
They're dead.
The guy.
Jago, they are dead.
Oh my God.
They are dead. Jago, they are dead. Jago, let me tell you, say they don't die. They don't die. Now the guy they come. Jukuman. I just bought that domain, jukuman.com.
Wow.
Jukuman.com. We are coming for you. They are coming.
Jeez.
Rest in peace, Eve. Thank you, Jagz.
Rest in peace.
Love you, bro.
Love you, bro. Love you.